Overjoyed, I remarked that Stanford is a melting pot of knowledge, teeming with intelligent people. However, she soon corrected me and explained her lack of intimidation is solely attributed to lackluster intelligence of intellects of her peers. I secretly sighed in disbelief. Her fears had not been silenced because she has met her classmates. They had been silenced because she has met her competition. It was at this moment I was struck by a revelation. I was looking into a mirror. However, the word mirror is imprecise. Looking at her philosophy of mathematics felt like looking into 1,000 years in the past. I've evolved ever since Stanford mathematics, but evolved is also the wrong word. In fact, to say that the Stanford Monitors Mathematics program was an ordeal would be an understatement. Stanford mathematics was a baptism by fire. Baptisma pyros. I failed 2 of the 3 courses of the freshman honor sequence. On hindsight, my failing is no surprise. All of my peers already had a solid background in proofs, while I was still teaching myself extensionality of sets and induction from Polia's how to solve it. Moreover, I never attended office hours or worked on problem sets in groups. To me, mathematics was a competition, and asking for help was a sign of weakness. After the failure of freshman year, I felt robbed. Robbed of my former glory, robbed of my intelligence, and robbed of my self-respect. Almost every job turned me away with disdain, while lesser men who partied every night would score major internships. It was the first time in my life that I hated myself, and I was determined to come back with vengeance. Convinced that I neither was studying hard enough nor was obsessed enough, I erected a social screen wall. Towering 8 feet in height, these screens divided my room and isolated me from the rest of the dorm. This refuge allowed me to devote every minute to studying. I did not bother with frivolous tasks, such as socializing with the dorm mates or even eating in public. At first, the strategy was working. My GPA finally crawled past the 3.0 threshold, and some technical classes gave me an A's and A-minuses. Also, I won the Algernet Award for a digital image processing project. But despite the good intentions behind my isolation, it would serve as the catalyst to my greatest academic fall. 2 weeks before finals, I learned that my mother was on her deathbed. Immediately booking the first flight to New York, I rushed to her bedside moments before she perished before my eyes. I arrived back at Stanford the next day. No one knew I was gone, and despite my inner turmoil, I never asked for help or revealed any chink in my armor. I failed almost every class that quarter. The situation at Stanford was bleak. I was alone and failing. The most reasonable choice would be to abandon the sinking ship. I could have dropped out of school or switched to a major prone to grade inflation. But I held my ground. I'm not sure why I did. Perhaps it can be attributed to some remnants of high school arrogance, or a need to be finally acknowledged by Leon Simon, the mathematician I most admired. But I think it is because deep down, I finally started to believe in mathematics. While other majors resorted to hand-wavy explanations, faulty statistics, approximate calculations, and empirical evidence, mathematics demanded that all facts be rigorously proven. Truth can only be derived from the known truths as well as accepted rules of inference. Even though I was not proficient at mathematics, I knew that it was the correct way of thinking. The world should be run on sound proof and derivation, and not haphazard facts regurgitated from some dubious source. And I finally started to see the beauty in mathematics. But the word beauty cannot even begin to encapsulate mathematics. To call it a beauty would be a gross understatement, ignoring the immense complexity behind why it is deemed as such. To even begin to elucidate why mathematics is so beautiful would be a difficult feat because of one major feature. Mathematics is a vast spectrum. At one end, we see beauty in monstrous constructions that are so unintuitive and seemingly inconceivable that one often wonders what in the world possibly inspired such impossible ideas. But there is also a beauty in the steps as simplistic as exploiting some innate symmetry, rewriting an equation, adding a zero, or multiplying 1 to prove some incredible result. But then there are some proofs that are just so original, so fresh, so creative, that seeing them for the first time feels as though the floodgates have been opened. But mathematics is not just restricted to theorems and equations. In fact, this is only a small fraction of mathematics. Mathematics is the random conversations at the back of the math library and exchange of scrolled coffeehouse napkins. Mathematics is the arrogance of a wizened professor who constantly interrupts a seminar, yet mathematics is also the speaker who successfully refutes the challenges. But most of all, mathematics is a student who barges into office hours and confesses, "I don't know," and the professor who responds, "I will help." Mathematics is the people who band together to seek rigorous truth and irreproachable deduction. Mathematics is the community. This was my revelation after talking with Jessica Simpsons. This is what took me 5 years at Stanford plus an entire lifetime to learn. This is my baptisma pyros. What I want most in the world right now is to rejoin the mathematical community. In particular, I want to join the logic community since it's the purest of mathematics. It is mathematics on mathematics. But once again, the word rejoin the mathematical community does not fully express my desire. I want to brainstorm with a think tank like the Building 100 and 102K logicians at Stanford. I want to walk aside logicians like Eric Packett and be so wrapped in conversation that we accidentally encircle the quad multiple times. But most of all, I want to stare at a chalkboard with newfound friends, and for us to simultaneously exclaim, "Wow!" And despite all my efforts to recreate the community, establishing myself as a math ninja on YouTube, creating an online math dojo, tutoring online students and finding them academic mentorships, mathematics outside of academia is made difficult because of the scarcity of physically tangible people. Now that I've answered why I want to go to graduate school, I would now like to explain why you should grant me matriculation. First and foremost, I have a comprehensive background. I have completed the Math Honors Core, finished all available logic classes at Stanford, spent a summer researching logic under a VPUE grant, and have taken a number of independent studies. Particularly, I have studied Axel's formulation of the anti-foundation axiom, strong normalization of the type lambda calculus of system F, and algebraic completeness proofs under the direct tutelage of logicians Salomon Pfefferman, Fernando Ferreira, and Grigori Mintz, respectively. Moreover, I double majored in electroengineering. Stanford Engineering has not only endowed me with the ability to solve real-world problems and utilize programs and packages such as MATLAB, UseBlast, and LAPACK to run simulations, but has also granted me insight on applied mathematics. In my digital systems lab classes, I have seen logic's manifestation as Boolean circuits and the importance of minimizing such circuits using Karnaugh maps and the Quine-McCluskey algorithm. Also, in my 2008 and 2007 summer REU electroengineering projects, I have seen, respectively, the need for recursive algorithms to solve electromagnetic fields in a stratified medium,